how to get more job security is you have to consider how much of the glue to the organization you are. If I look at all the people who are the people that I would never want to lose in the organization, the reason I don't want to lose a lot of those people is not just their unique value proposition, and it's not just the ROI they bring to my organization. It's how much of the glue do they help create. When I think of people that are glue, I think of people that have influence. They do that by having more touch with departments outside of their own. How often are you uniting other departments and people towards a common goal to drive the business forward? So you're not just getting an ROI on yourself when you come into this organization, you're getting an ROI on all the people that you can influence because you can unite people towards a common goal.
So although I wish I were here with better news, the fact is that you and I are sitting here today because this will be your last week of employment at this company.
Why me?
What am I supposed to do now?
Am I supposed to feel better that I'm not the only one losing my job?
This is ridiculous. I have been a fine employee for over 10 years, and this is the way you treat me.
How you sleep at night, man? Huh? How's your family? They sleeping well at night? Electricity still on? Heat still on? Refrigerator full of food? Gas tank full of gas? Going Chuck E. Cheese this weekend or something? Not me. No, my kids, we're not going to do anything.
My friends, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared Podcast. We're here, we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed, and my friends, I want to welcome you into the show. It's going to be an interesting topic today, and you might be asking what that is. Well, I'm so glad you asked. Today, we're talking about job security. And my friends, I gotta be honest with you. Job security is something that is largely becoming something of the past. I would argue, however, that job security is largely a joke. Job security is not real. Now, it might be real in the definition that you're thinking of, if you can even define it. However, I would like to present to you today, ladies and gentlemen of the Sheep Get Sheared Podcast, that job security is not what you should be chasing. In fact, you should be chasing soul security. Now, what in the world is that? Well, I'm so glad you asked. But before I define that for you, I want to present something to you. Let me get my camera right. I don't know what's going on today. This thing's a little jumpy today. All right. I would like to present Exhibit A, the Harvard Business Review. It says that job insecurity harms both employees and employers. Now, this is another interesting example of the normies, the people who are more traditional, are not in the loop. Okay, this is another example of them playing catch up when those of us who can already see the bouncing ball, we already knew this. That's why I'm a self-employed guy, because I know that job security out here in this marketplace is not something that's easy to do, on top of the fact that I have my own personal issues. Now, let's get down to this. It says, according to a recent poll, who did this poll? Let's see here. Gallup. Okay, so it's somewhat logistical. It's not like a CNN poll or something. Recent poll says 15% of U.S. workers today feel at risk of losing their job, despite annual unemployment rates remaining at record low levels. Okay, again, it's only low compared to the astronomical levels we had during COVID, as far as I know. And this is no accident. So studies have shown that many workplaces intentionally stoke fear of job loss. In other words, they keep you insecure in your job, which makes sense. They stoke fear of job loss in an attempt to motivate workers and reduce costs. Well, that sounds reasonable. Might argue that it's unethical, but let's keep going. It says, since job insecure workers may be less likely to demand raises, and other benefits. Indeed, organizations such as Facebook and General Electric and Facebook, what sterling examples, have made no secret of their strategic use of threats to people's jobs to boost performance, despite the well-documented negative effects of job insecurity on employees' sense of social connection, identity, physical, and mental health. Okay, so my friends, here's what we're dealing with right now. Okay, we are dealing with job insecurity. Now, first of all, job security is it's a very interesting conversation because, look, in a certain respect, yes, it can really damage somebody to know that they might not be able to get the job security that they want. But let me tell you something. For those of you who think that you should always feel secure in everything you're doing, life is riddled with insecurity in the same way that Swiss cheese is riddled with holes. You can't escape it. Now, you should not be trying to find your security in your job. When I say security, what do I mean? Do I mean something under lock and key? Do I mean something that you put in a safe? Do I mean something that you throw under your bed or you bury in your backyard with your guns? What am I talking about? When I talk about security, I'm talking about your sense of self-worth as well as your core, your center. And it's really easy for people to wrap up their identity in their job, in their social circles, even sometimes in their physical health. But let me tell you, I'm here to assert today that finding your identity in job security is a joke. Why? Because there was a time in this country and in other places in the world as well that people would start a company, work there for like 50 years, get their pension, and then retire. That's what they would do. We don't live in that economy anymore. Most people are not going to be anywhere close to that, number one. And number two, it's the safe route. The route most traveled is rarely the route of success. In fact, it's rarely the route of actual self-satisfaction. It's the route that's easy. It's easy to stay at the same place for a long period of time. Especially if you're not willing to take risks. If you're not willing to take risks in life, my friends, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Life is full of risk and opportunity. And if you're not willing to take opportunities in life, you can't complain. Because if you start complaining, that's just ridiculous. Because you can't complain. You should not have the right to complain about something you're not actively trying to change. Job security, most people can't even define what that would look like in their job. Just not getting fired? Does that mean getting the raise you want every year, every quarter, whatever you think you deserve a raise? Does that mean that you feel valued? Does that mean you get certain benefits? Or what? It can mean all kinds of different things. But these same people who want a job to give them security, they want their spouse to give them security. They want the government to give them security. They're not willing to do that for themselves. They're not willing to step back and say, wait, if everything hits the fan, if all the poopy hits the fan, if everything goes to crap, if I'm stuck and I have to restart everything, am I going to be like cream on milk and always rise to the top? Probably not, because you're probably not even on top where you are right now. So how the hell are you going to go on being on top somewhere else? You didn't even choose, by the way. How is that possible? People of the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, I am here to assert to you today, and I'm going to challenge you, do not take the route most traveled. Don't do it. Because if you start taking the road that's most traveled, you will be so bored. So many people that I see, that I've talked to, whether I'm at the grocery store, sometimes at the gas station, believe it or not, but when I'm at the grocery store, when I'm meeting new people on campus or meeting their parents or whoever, or when I was in the military and I met a lot of new people, my friends, when I meet people, so many people you ever see these people with these eyes that just lack any identity of life? They're just void of life and they're just kind of like there. You don't sense any ambition. You don't sense any appreciation for what they have, what they're striving for. Most people don't even know what they want out of life. Can you believe that? Most people, they know what they don't want. That's for dang sure. But they don't know what they want. Or I'll tell you a little story the other day. I went to the VA. The reason why is not your business. But I was at the VA. And the gentleman that was helping me out, I was talking with him. And he and his buddy were talking while I was filling out the paperwork. I think the guy, he was training the other gentleman. While they were talking, he told me and his buddy how he had full disability. He was working at the VA. He was just talking about how he was alone. He didn't have a wife. He didn't have kids. And he's like, oh, I don't need a lot. Yeah, I don't need a lot. So, it's not a big deal that I'm not making... I could have been making six figures, but I'm not, but I don't need a whole lot. So it doesn't really matter to me. I'm kind of safe. I'm kind of satisfied where I am. And keep in mind, I'm just sitting here, I'm doing paperwork. I'm not really looking at him. I'm just doing my thing. And I'm thinking to myself as he's talking, I'm like, don't you want to make six figures? I want to make 8 figures, 9 figures. 6 is the first step. And this gentleman has the opportunity and he's not even wanting to take it. He's not even fighting for it. He's comfortable being a 5-figure guy. He's safe being there. He doesn't care. He doesn't have the ambition. And he was about in his 30s. And he's not out here grinding. He's not hungry. And I sat there and I'm like, I can't imagine being this guy. Not that he's a bad person. But I can't imagine not having ambition, not having drive, not having the desire to be better and have these ideas that I want to bring to life. I don't understand how it's possible to live a life like that. I seriously don't. I find security in my dreams, my ideas, my aspirations, my ambitions. That's where I find my security in. I find my security in me. I find my security in God. I don't find my security in my job. I don't find security in other people. How can you do a thing like that? How could you passive opportunities let them just float away? How could you do that? My friends, if you don't have the sense of self, if you don't have this sense of, I know who I am, or at the very least, I know what I want. If you know what you want, I can help you get there. Napoleon Hill's books can help you get there. There are very wise men out in the world. There are very wise men in the world. They can help you get there, but you have to want it. You have to want it with every fiber of your being, because if you don't want it, someone could literally be handing it to you and you won't take it. You won't take it. Someone could literally be handing it to you and you won't take it. My friends, the world is full of opportunities, full of just fruits, treasures, ripe for the taking. So many people don't have the drive to take it. But here's the one thing. Before you take, you must first give. People want to take, but they're not willing to give. What are you willing to give? Can you even give yourself the sense of security within your... Can you even give that for yourself? Let's start there. Can you even do that? If you can't even do that, we got to start there. That's step 1. You need a foundation. And that foundation is built off of not job security, not your social security, but your soul security, your own inner being of self-sufficiency. You need to try to get to that place. You need to be secure in who you are and what you're capable of, what you're good at, know what your weaknesses and your strengths are. So many people... I don't see a desire for people to even want to do these things. And it shocks me. It scares me, frankly. It proves that I'm not a normal person. There are probably a lot of you out there that aren't normal. But that's not bad. That's good. It means that you're different. And never be afraid to be different. I know in high school, middle school, even in the adult world sometimes, we're tempted and we're pressured to be like everybody else. Be a carbon copy of the mold, whatever that mold might be around your social group, your financial class, whatever it is, your job. Don't feel the pressure to conform and be someone that you're not just to please people you barely care about. Don't do that. My friends, job security is a joke because you need to build up yourself. And if you're depending on someone else, that's dangerous. It just puts you in a place of vulnerability that frankly, I don't like. If it works for you, God bless you, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think you're better than that. My friends, I believe job security to be a joke, and the only real solution is soul security. Soul security for you to be safe within yourself and know who you are, so that no matter what you do, no matter what happens, no matter what reaction, you're like the cream on milk that always rises. You shake it up, but that cream will always rise back up to the top. That's what you need to be. My friends, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. We're out of here. Have a great day. And I hope you learned something today. Please share with me anything you have in the comment section. Or I'm going to go over to my Twitter page, @Sheep Get Sheared. And follow me on TikTok, wherever, all social media platforms, @Sheep Get Sheared. Let me know what you think. Peace.